Welcome to a new video. I'm Christina, if you're new here. Originally, I wasn't going to make a video about this. This is a more serious topic, I would say. If you've been following the news, then you might have seen that Steven Twitch Boss passed away. For those of you who might not know who that was, just a quick synopsis. So he was a dancer, actor, entertainer. He was also a co-producer on The Ellen Show and the resident DJ of the show. So I knew about him from The Ellen DeGeneres Show because I watched Ellen religiously. And I knew about his wife, Allison, actually before I knew about him because, long story, in high school I was a huge R5 fan, and Riker, who's Ross Lynch's brother, was on Dancing with the Stars, and he was partnered with Allison, so that's how I came to know about her. So I have kind of like followed both of them on and off, and I'd seen their videos circulating on social media, so I didn't follow them, but I knew of them, just stuff that I've seen here and there. I was pretty shocked when I saw the news. He was only like, what, 40? And he was kind of one of the last people that a lot of people thought that they would see this kind of news, tragic news about. He was found in a motel room. He died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, so he died by suicide. And if you've seen a lot of the online discourse, there's so much shock surrounding the death because he seemed very upbeat, very happy, in high spirits. And if anything, this just goes to show that you never can tell how someone is like from what they choose to show you. So as much as everyone keeps saying that they're shocked, so many people know him only from his public persona and the image that he puts out. And even for those who did know him, again, you never really know what someone is going through unless you sit down and talk with them about it, or unless they actually disclose information to you. And I think when things like this happen, that people should be so careful also about how they discuss this online, because you don't know if a loved one is going through the same thing and they are seeing your thoughts that how could they do this, they were so happy. I'm just hypothesizing, and I can't really speak for other people, but I can imagine that even though people don't mean harm in saying that a person appears to be happy all the time, I think it might put pressure on people who are dealing with the same thing. If people say, this can't be how you're feeling if you always appear happy, maybe there is a pressure to maintain that image. And I think feel more guilt about feeling not great. He did leave a note behind, and it did hint at past struggles, so at least there is a bit of an awareness about where he was at. It's sad. It's very, very sad. It's very tragic, and there is a silent epidemic going on, even though we are in a day and age where people talk about mental health more. At the same time, the kind of world we live in and the society we live in and the pace of life we're living at doesn't make it easy to talk about feelings or mental health, mental illness, to get help, to get support. There are still too many barriers in place, and even if you look at the specific tragedy, statistics do show that men of that age group struggle a lot, and that men are less likely to get help and also more likely to use more lethal methods when attempting suicide. This is a global emergency. This is a global issue that a collective of people are going through, and it is something worth thinking about. It is something worth discussing with people but also just, I guess, an acknowledgement of the severity of the situation, just because now, Twitch boss aside, the average person cannot easily access any kind of help to do with mental health or mental illness. Maintaining your mental health is difficult, and also we don't think about it the same way as we think about our physical health. Going back to just Twitch boss's death, there's so many different responses that people have left, and I think there is a lot of insensitivity when it comes to conspiracy theorists. And as much as it is a tragic story and people are trying to piece it together, I think there is a lot of disrespect when people theorize that a family member killed him, or I don't know. There have been interesting things people are saying. But for the sake of people involved, and not just them, but for the sake of all the people around you and their feelings, to just exercise caution when you speak about these things.